Welcome to the ISTL wrap-up for Week 5 of Season 3. My name is Shalthus from the Gkick Network at www.gkick.net, and we are officially at the end of the group stages, just a few short days away from the start of playoff action. This week, we will see how the teams will set their final positions as they head toward the Grand Finals. Starting things off, we had Team Fallacy squaring off against the still undefeated My Intent. McLeod would head out for My Intent, and he would prove to be unstoppable. After defeating the Protoss player Cardris, the Terran player Legacy, and the Zerg player Guelo, McLeod would take on the Terran player Jabroni in Game 4. Despite holding off the initial pressure, Jabroni could not stop McLeod's control of his Naturals ramp, and he cleaned up the army to complete the all-kill and win the game 4-0. This cemented My Intent's dominance this season as they finished the group stages undefeated, 4 wins, 0 losses, while Fallacy goes 0-2. Up next, Inferno DTG would take on Impulse eSports. For Inferno, the Protoss player Oracle would start things off against the Zerg player Shield. The teams would trade games throughout the series as Shield would defeat Oracle, as well as the Protoss player Gandalf, before being taken down by the Protoss player Scar. Scar would then fall to the Protoss player Niter, who would be defeated by the Protoss Inferno's Mad Cow. Mad Cow would force a Game 7 by taking out the Terran player Ender and dealing with the Zerg player Dissonance. Mad Cow, however, would be too much to handle, and he would complete the comeback to award the series to Inferno DTG. With this final win, Inferno DTG would finish the group stages 2 wins, 1 loss, and Impulse would finish at 1 win, 3 losses. It would be a short series as Team Classic, formerly known as Multitude Gaming, would take on Western Wolves. The Wolves would send out the Zerg Zictamini to take on the Zerg Mav. Zictamini would take the first win and also knock out the Zerg player Frostswarm. He would fall to Classic's Protoss player Remark, leading to a Game 4 against the Zerg player Mini Razor. A very early Zealot pressure would knock Mini Razor out, and once again Western Wolves would be forced to forfeit the match due to a lack of players and award the win to Team Classic. With that result, Classic would end the group stages 3-1, and Western Wolves would end it 2-2, a surprising result for the defending champions. In the last group stage match of the season, Property would take on Zeez. Zeez would send out the Terran player Jimmy to take on Property's Terran player Geraci. Geraci would be the first winner before falling to the Zerg player Snuffy. Snuffy would also take out FGL before having to be replaced by the Zerg player Buffy due to some connectivity issues. However, Buffy wouldn't last long against the Terran player JJH, who would also take out the Terran Gillian before facing off against Property's Bobson in an epic TVT encounter in Game 6. The match would go in JJH's favor and award the game to Zeez 4-2. This means the final results would be 2 wins, 2 losses for Zeez, and it would give Property their first and only loss of the season to end the group stages 3-1. Next week, the wildcards begin for the playoffs, and we should soon find out who the next ISTL champions are. Once the wildcard matches have been decided, the playoffs will roll out full force on October 15th. Remember that you can catch the ISTL live at twitch.tv/impulse. You can follow the ISTL on Twitter at IMP_esports. And at www.impulseesports.com. You can also subscribe to these weekly wrap-ups at YouTube at youtube.com/observeresports. Until next week, this is Shalthus from the Gkick Network, and we will see you next time.